Okay, I have to start the meeting now. It's 7:07. So let me see who's here. Lenora's here. Willie, Tibbs is here. Linda's there. Tom DeGancy is excused with the guy. Tom DeGancy's excused. Eve Pucci's here. And Rom is here.
Alex
All right.
is here too.
Oh, Alex? Okay, good, Alex. I don't see you yet on here, Alex, but
Well, no, I'm there. I just don't have my picture because I'm using my phone.
okay, I'm gonna start the meeting. I can't get that attendee in because I don't see where's an attendee on the bottom.
Have you scrolled to the bottom of the participants list?
Let me see.
It should
Yeah, I
give you
have.
a split
Oh,
panelist list, and
okay,
then at the bottom, an
okay.
attendees list.
Okay, wait a minute now. I just. All right, wait.
It says view all attendees, Gary. At the very bottom, it says view all attendees.
If you scroll all the way down,
There are 2 attendees.
one of them, one starting with the number 0, is
Yeah, but
my speaker.
No. I can't. Oh, no, I can't come up with the attendee.
At the
I see
very,
that there are 2 attendees, but I can't seem to push that. See, I don't see any attendee displayed.
it's in the attendees list, Gary. At the very bottom of the participants, it says view all attendees. If you-
I can't scroll. Oh, here. Okay, wait. I just got it now. Okay.
Is the number starting in 0 for reference?
I have them, but I can't. I can unmute them, but I can't seem to. I can see them, but I can't make them panelists for some reason. I don't know.
So you can unmute them, and they might be able to speak, and we can hear.
Okay.
Just like
All
the
right.
public session that we have, they don't have to be panelists per se.
Okay. Okay. I'll unmute them.
I think they have to raise their hands in order for you to.
Okay. Okay.
That's what we do in the municipal
Okay.
meetings. They have to raise their hands, and then, or
Okay.
they may not be able to see it. I think it's *8, I believe.
Can they hear us now? Arian, can he hear us?
Rohan, speak if you can hear us.
Hello?
Okay, it worked.
Okay, good. All right. I'm going to call the meeting to order because we have to get started, okay? I'm calling the meeting to order, and we're going to start with a presentation from Arian Shah, one of our junior commissioners, who is involved with the JSA from the high school, which is the Junior State of America. I'm going to have him make a presentation for about a half an hour, and then we'll have some answers and questions. Okay, Aaron, you're on.
Right. I don't currently have sharing permissions, Gary. If you could give me those, then I could start as soon as possible.
Okay. Now, how do I? I hit share file.
No, I need permission to screen share.
It might be a general option. I think it may be a settings or option to let others share their screens, Gary.
Okay. Share. I'm trying to find his name here. I don't see his name. I mean, okay. Okay. I don't know if I did that. All right. Why don't you just start talking? Okay.
Well, I have a presentation plan that has information about what we're talking about.
Yeah, but
So if you cannot figure it out, you may have to email it to Gary, and then Gary can run it on his PC, and then we can share. We can see that here, Ariane.
Um,
I can't seem to. I don't know what's going on here.
I'm going to need to do something that may take some time because this is on my school email, resulting in me not being able to share this automatically.
Oh. All right.
Gary, you messed up everything.
Ari,
All right, hold on now.
Just copy paste it to your other email account directly.
Yeah, I'm making another slideshow right now, and then I'm going to copy paste it directly.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did wrong here.
Gary, next time one of us can help, either Venki or me can help you navigate this.
Got it on audio only mode.
Okay. All right. I have you all on, but I don't know how to share. How do I what do I hit to have Arian to share?
Gary, there should be a box with an arrow out. Do you see a box with an arrow out?
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Do I hit that?
Yeah, click on that,
Okay.
and it may give you some options. Does it give you an option, give permission to Arian to share a screen?
How do I give him permission?
so Ron, maybe one way that we can advertise is that we can have a mass email to anybody that we have their email address. And have a nice, like, for example, for Dr. Martin Luther King,
Okay, wait.
I did this nice flyer, and I used a chimp mail, whatever, and which we can send it for 2,000 people without any charge.
I think I made you
And so we just send it out and ask them for
I
donations.
think you can share
You
now.
can use something like
You can?
that, and we send it out on behalf of the Democratic.
I can. Okay, great.
Anybody that we have their email address.
I think I made you that.
From the
Yes,
JFK
this works.
Club, and even like Martin
Okay.
Luther King and whoever we want to, and see who can apply.
Okay.
All right.
And it's
I know
just a
everybody-
matter of create
Right.
a nice thing, you know. I can
Let him
help
start.
create it if you
Alex,
want, or,
Alex is.
Alex is,
Please mute his line, please.
creative,
Can you mute Alex's microphone?
And we can send it out. In fact,
Alex.
we can create a
Alex,
account for the JFK
Alex,
Club,
mute yourself.
and this way we can use it in the future.
I don't see Alex.
Gary, you can mute everybody.
Yeah, MailChimp, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You can mute all.
And
Gary.
just unmute,
Okay.
just unmute Aryan so he can talk.
Go ahead, Arian.
All right, great. I know everybody that it's been a while, but without further ado, let's begin our presentation.
Okay, go ahead.
Should work. Does everyone see this?
Okay. Go ahead.
Great. All right. So this is a presentation by the Franklin High School Junior State of America, and it is our Youth and Activism Spotlight. So we're glad to present this to you today. So a brief introduction. As you probably know, my name is Aryan Shah. I am a junior commissioner on the Human Relations Commission, and I'm also the chapter president of JSA at Franklin High School. And as that position, I also wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what JSA is. So JSA was founded in 1934 and today is the largest student-led organization in the country. The Junior State of America is not just an organization. It's a nonpartisan political debate club that discusses current events and spreads political awareness among youth. We offer leadership opportunities, practice in public speaking, and our events give plenty of volunteer hours. We're a really great place to learn about politics, and we work to make sure that anyone can share their political opinions at Franklin High School. We have presences on state, national, and local levels across the country. Our chapter of JSA is within the Mid-Atlantic State region, which is part of the larger National Junior State of America. We work hard with each and every one of these levels to present plenty of kinds of programming to our individual members. Here's some of our past events. We hold a ton of different debates. So this one was specifically on whether or not Donald Trump should be impeached. We had this last year during the actual impeachment. This was preparations for an event that we planned called Speak Out. It was specifically about global human rights violations, and we were discussing different ways that we could solve them. This is actually a screenshot from a rather recent event of ours. During the recent presidential debates, we actually held watch parties and specifically discussed how the presidential candidates were proposing different policies and also discussed different issues in America that could be solved by those policies. So, considering all these different things about JSA, I wanted to let our guest speakers have a turn at really discussing how JSA has helped them and, more importantly, their own activist beliefs and how JSA has helped them promote those. So, without much further ado, let's talk about our speakers, shall we? So we're going to start with Ayush Mukherjee. He's currently a junior at Franklin High School. Currently, he's enrolled at the AP US Government and Politics class the school offers, and he took the AP Comparative Government class during his sophomore year. In the future, Ayush plans to go into law or political science as his major. Today, Ayush will speak about how social media activism is ineffective at its job and does not contribute to the overall fight against the issue in question. Ayush, you can begin whenever you're comfortable.
Thanks, Aryan. All right, so I'll just start off with a basic statement for all. I'm pretty sure everyone is familiar with the Black Lives Matter movement and all of the several pieces of activism that have been associated with it. And in social media, the most prevalent one that we've all seen is Blackout Tuesday. So why did I start off the speech with Blackout Tuesday? Well, we all know that its purpose was to spread awareness among the communities, among several different communities, and garner support of the movement. Well, I have a rather controversial opinion about this, and I feel like the entire Blackout Tuesday thing was just very ineffective towards the cause overall. So I guess I'll just spread this out a little more. So social media accounts that are activism, that like have the purpose of activism and stuff, they're supposed to raise awareness about certain issues and such. However, in a lot of these social media accounts, you can see that they've now become echo chambers of their own, only repeating pretty much the same ideas over and over again and only having the same audience attracted to them. And while most social media activism, it's not necessarily aimed to, how do I say this correctly? It's not aimed to only support a certain amount of people to fight for the cause. There is certainly cases of that. And in a lot of cases, those social media accounts are often, how do I say it? They're recognized, they have the loudest voice in a lot of things. So people who will be attracted to the social media accounts, they'll be only attracted to that, but people with differing viewpoints will rarely actually see such social media accounts and fight for such causes. So, I mean, this is kind of weird. So now we'll just zoom out to social media in general and how activism, not all activism, but some activism, rather toxic. Like you can probably see this in Twitter or Facebook or anything. As soon as someone states a political opinion, there's sure to be some kind of backlash. It's always going to be negative backlash, and it's always not really concerning the topic, but it's also talking about, it also had instances like ad hominem and other things, which are mostly attacking the person for who they are and not what they believe. And once you go back to social media activism and such, you can kind of see that the point of being vocal isn't necessarily a positive. There is a correlation between the social media accounts and toxicity. And this is where so you're going to have to ask that question: what can be done about this? Social media is going to be toxic, no matter what. Certain political accounts are always going to be toxic. It won't necessarily change anything. So this is where JSA has come to a lot of help for me personally, because I spend a lot of time on social media, and it's tough to decide whether something is worth arguing about effectively when the entirety of social media is either there to make or break you. So JSA has pretty much taught me to always have a little bit of skepticism when looking at such accounts, and always to question everything respectfully. Respectfully, because you don't want anyone getting the wrong idea about you, and always questioning everything because you are not quite sure if the social media account is there just to ramble about something over and over again while appealing to the same audience, or if it's actually trying to raise awareness. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you so much, Ayush. All right. So that was our first speaker. Our next speaker will be Stephanie Osaah-Asamoah. Stephanie Osaah-Asamoah is currently a junior at Franklin High School. She has been in the JSA club for the last 2 years, and today she'll be discussing civic engagement, becoming an echo chamber due to the internet, her own personal civic engagement with tutoring, and the importance of civic engagement in youth. You can start whenever you're comfortable, Stephanie.
Okay, I'm going to start off with a quote from Martin Luther King. And he said, "Democracy transformed from thin paper to thick action is the greatest form of government on earth." Martin Luther King made these remarks knowing that without the foundation of activism and advocacy, the civil rights movement, which sought to provide inalienable rights for African Americans and other people of color, would cease to exist. Activism and advocacy are both aspects of civic engagement. But what is civic engagement? Civic engagement is the act of communities or individual citizens working together to protect, serve, and impact the community. Civic engagement is one of the very pillars our democracy rests on. Civic engagement is the reason that many important changes in our society were implemented, such as civil rights for African Americans and civil rights for women. But why does it matter that our youth participates in this? Because our current leaders will only be our leaders for so long. The generations of today will soon be a forgotten era, only their accomplishments left behind for us to analyze, learn from, and most importantly, grow from. If we teach the children of today to engage and participate in their own livelihoods, fight for their rights, and fight for others, then we will be giving the adults of tomorrow the foundation they need to lead a brighter future for those that succeed us. With every child knowing how important they are to this society and knowing that they could be the change they wish to see, we could possibly achieve a society that is truly the pinnacle of what our founding fathers intended. The impact social media has had on our civic engagement is something that could never have been imagined just 25 years ago. Civic engagement has been truly altered due to the creation and presence of social media in our communities. Social media is a tool that many generations use, from this fading silent generation to Gen Z, probably one of the most dogmatic generations in existence. Social media has indeed helped to bring many ideas of marginalized groups to the forefront. Movements such as the Black Lives Matter movement grew significantly due to the overwhelming outcry from all demographics across several social media platforms. Black Lives Matter called for an immediate end to police brutality on African Americans in many communities in America. These communities felt that law enforcement was a threat to their livelihoods, and they needed to take a stand through activism and advocacy, with many of these people flocking to social media to spread awareness. Just like that, Black Lives Matter movement was a nationwide and even global issue, with many protests in the United Kingdom and even as far as Japan. But despite the many benefits of social media, it has managed to worsen some of the problems in current day society. Our country has become increasingly polarized due to the presence of social media, with many individuals claiming their position on certain issues to be fact. There have been many instances on social media where somebody has expressed their personal point of view on an issue, but because people seeing their opinion don't agree, they get canceled, attacked, or bullied into going private, deleting their social media accounts. Sorry about that. Yeah. Or even deleting their social media accounts, or even worse, changing their personal opinions for the validation of millions of anonymous accounts. This is a very problematic issue because social media should be a place for everybody to express themselves, and they shouldn't be held back because of another person's bias. This can lead to an incredibly one-sided generation with zero tolerance for other opinions. We have also seen an issue on social media with fake news and disinformation. Social media has indeed helped to spread important issues to more people, but just how much of this information is actually true? It would be very dangerous for people to make up their minds and form opinions based on sensational headlines and clickbait titles. Unfortunately, in this day and age, we have too much of that, as many are shifting away from traditional newspapers and broadcasting stations to social media. Many of the news sites online are extremely biased and only perform news warped to fit one perspective or the other. These types of websites do nothing but harm to our society, making it increasingly difficult to engage in political dialogue without hostility. Social media activism also does not guarantee change. Many online movements do indeed bring awareness, but no real reform can ever be guaranteed, with many movements fading to the background after only 2 weeks of engagement. This is something that is very disappointing to those who feel strongly about certain issues, because although everybody's aware of the issues, nothing can ever really occur. All in all, social media has its benefits and shortcomings, and although it can be problematic at times, there are many aspects that can be used to our advantage if we choose. Also, recently, myself, I've taken up in an after-school volunteer service of tutoring kids in Franklin. It is something I've always been interested in, teaching others. So when this opportunity was presented to me, I was truly honored. I do this because I do believe that the education of our youth is important. The only way to have a better society in the future is with socially aware and educated children. Children at this age that are already showing the work ethic and eagerness to learn are the individuals that will lead and shape our future. The saying, "It takes a village to raise a child," will forever be true. We will be able to have the best communities with informed citizens. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. And our next speaker is going to be Rohan Patel. He cannot see us, so I'm going to give him a special cue to start going. Rohan Patel is a junior at Franklin High School. He is also the current treasurer for JSA and has been in JSA since his sophomore year. When he isn't doing schoolwork or participating in clubs, Rohan likes to make music and in the future wants to pursue a musical or political career. Today, he will be talking about the destruction of farmland, the resulting food crisis, and how we can counteract that in the 21st century. Rohan, please go ahead.
Hello, my name is Rohan Patel, and today I'm just going to be talking a little bit about, like Aryan said, the destruction of farmlands and just ways we can combat that in the 21st century. So we have a looming crisis on our hands. Today's farmers and growers are facing mass desertification to their crop plots. If this is allowed to continue unchecked, then eventually all plots of once arable land will be reduced to shells of their former selves. Piles of desert simply made to blow away in the wind. The damage, however, is not irreparable or irreversible, as it only takes a society more well-minded and more informed to successfully combat the issue. The main issue and the leading cause of desertification, is the robbing of nutrients by crops that heavily rely on them, especially nitrogen. Crops such as corn and strawberries require a lot of nitrogen to fully develop and mature, and without the proper knowledge of soil health and composition, arable land will simply disintegrate before our very eyes. This is where a certain type of food group comes in. Legumes are a family of vegetables that include peas, chickpeas, peanuts, and alfalfa. Alfalfa, yeah. These legumes have a special kind of bacteria called root nodules, which allow for nitrogen to be taken from their surroundings and be placed back into the soil that the legume is being planted in. Not only does this give back much needed nutrients to the soil, legumes are often foods that we humans typically eat, so it presents a win-win situation. In an effort to beat back desertification, legumes would and should be the forefront of the effort, leading the vanguard's charge. However, this job would not go solely to the planting of legumes, as other tried and true methods of nutrient retention have historically been effective in fighting desertification. We have one elemental factor on our side in the fight against desertification: water, specifically rain. Because water is such an instrumental part of the beginning of life and its preservation, we should utilize this factor to help ensure the safe continuation of our people. Currently in New Jersey, there are no laws forbidding the collection of rainwater and its consumption, as there is no need to implement any. The rainwater harvesting must be a more widely recognized factor in the fight against desertification, as it, just like legumes, bring much needed supplements and nutrients into the soil and allow it for its continued preservation. Just like legumes, once again, farmers and planters must be made aware of these factors that they can take advantage of to help the environment. This can be achieved through awareness and special collaboration between groups such as biologists and farmers, who are both means of destroying the problem and restoring nutrients to the soil and our Mother Earth. This can also be done through proper education and will allow for the continuation and preservation of our dear farmlands and crops that we all rely on for health, security, and life. And this cannot just pertain to our current generation. It must be continued for all generations, and preparing for the future begins with my generation. Civic engagement can be incited through lessons and activities that help to teach the importance of preserving our farmlands and our bread baskets. Measures to combat the issue must be implemented in the present, but measures to prevent it from coming back starts with children and adolescents, who will lead our nation and our entire world in the great tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rohan. So these are our three speakers. I hope you enjoyed their issue pieces, and you're now going to have the opportunity to ask them any questions that you have. So please go ahead, commissioners, if you have any questions. I actually would like to put on my junior commissioner hat for a second and ask them a question myself.
Okay, hold on. If you have any question, you have to unmute yourself first. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so my question is this. How do you guys believe that JSA has helped you kind of spread information or learn more about these issues? Any if you can go first.
Can I answer?
Sure.
So for me personally, JSA has really been able to open the kind of the scope of the world, and really being a part of it has allowed me to see these opportunities and like chances for gaining more knowledge about the issue. I used to be a very closed-in kid, a very shy person. I wouldn't seek things out if they weren't in my immediate vicinity. And being in JSA has kind of made me able to go out and really try to gain more knowledge and glean a higher understanding of the issue that I presented today.
I mean, I am a part of a JSA as well, so it's a question.
Just speak a little louder.
I'm sorry?
Speak a little louder. Speak a little louder.
So my question to you guys is because even I'm a part of the JSA team, although I'm not present in all meetings all times. So when you guys start off your you know, debates or anything like that, and you
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
Gary Rosenthal.
So like when you guys raise awareness to a topic, right? What are certain guidelines that you guys follow so that you don't invade somebody's, you know, point of view, or you don't sound extremely, you know, somebody doesn't take you judgmental towards an issue that they are very passionate about. If you are, you know, for example, when we had the Speak Out event with this classes, what are certain guidelines you follow in such situations?
Anybody want to answer that question?
Can you repeat the question? I couldn't hear it all the way through.
Okay, I'll just like simplify the question. So when you guys do panel events or awareness events, right? For example, the Speak Out events, what guidelines do you guys follow in terms of making sure you don't, you know, overarch that boundary of somebody's point of view, or you don't sound judgmental, or people don't you know, envision you as sort of being very extremely judgmental of certain topics, etc., etc., etc.
For me, I know that, or sorry, was that someone else that was going to answer?
No.
Okay. Okay. So for me, I always know that when I'm talking to a person, I should consider what they have to say and their viewpoint on whatever issue we're talking about. And yeah, it gives me an opportunity to learn while debating, and it can unlock a few new viewpoints that I've never seen before. For example, I'm gonna actually use JSA. I've heard a lot of good things come from debates during our meetings, and I was kind of, I said earlier, I was closed off and my ideas were just kind of set, but it really opened up new possibilities and new theories and new processes that I've been able to just kind of comprehend. And I always make sure to take this into account whenever I'm talking to someone or even having like a friendly argument.
I guess I can kind of elaborate on it. For me, like there's like a line between debating with someone and then attacking someone based on their opinions. So for me, it's personally just not crossing the line and judging someone entirely because of their personal beliefs. Because in the end, what we're doing, like even though we're passionate, in the end, it's all just debate, and it's all friendly debate. And even though I might be passionate about something, and a differing opinion, I shouldn't take it 100% to heart because that's what they truly think. So yeah, there's just a line I set between judging someone and just having a debate with someone.
Thank you very much. I asked that because even even as a person, I find it difficult sometimes to, you know, find that border in line, even with being a part of JSA. And I totally agree on whatever you guys said about the self-esteem that it, you know.
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
So thank you.
Gary Rosenthal.
Hey, Gary, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can?
Are there any other questions? Are there any other questions?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
Gary.
Go ahead, John.
Okay. To the young lady that was talking about the social media, what was her name? I don't have a good hookup. Can she hear me, Gary?
Yes, I can hear you. What was her name, Arian?
Her name is Stephanie.
Her name is Stephanie.
Stephanie, I didn't hear them.
Yeah.
I heard everything that you said in terms of the ramifications of different people, how they use social media, in terms of specifically in terms of Black Lives Matter. We as Human Relations Commissioners here in Somerset have been contemplating support.
What happened, John? John?
Gary, you muted him. Somebody muted him.
No, I didn't mute him. I'll unmute him again. Go ahead,
As
John.
long as she can hear me. And
Go ahead.
what she said her name was, and Miss, I'd be honored to speak to you sometime. I am a commissioner. We have a plan that's coming out of Somerset for an ultimate solutions to the whole Black Lives Matter in terms of what their goals should be and why they don't need to continually marching and protesting. There has been a plan devised that we can solve the problem, the root problems of the whole Black Lives Matter situation. And I'd be honored to speak to you sometime to Gary Rosenthal, through our chairman, about our particular 3-point plan. Okay?
Yeah, I would definitely be honored.
Okay. You should connect with Arian, John, because he's a commissioner, and he can address it.
Okay.
If you'd like to speak on the subject as a guest speaker in our club, we'd love to feature you.
Okay, I would love to talk to her about the whole 3-point plan, and to you guys. Gary, you know, could direct our commissioner, Arian,
Hey, John.
for that to happen. Yes, sir.
It might be a good idea to make this as one of the subjects for debate in this group, and I think that probably will be a good eye opener, and also will be a good education for everybody, and also will be also a good way to introduce the 3 plan for this group as well.
Okay, I agree, Alex. I agree. I think that'll be an honorable idea, and I would love for that to happen. If if Gary can, if puts out the junior commissioner can have that set up between you and him, Alex, I think it would be a good move. I think we're ahead of everybody.
Gary, would you like to take?
As I indicated, this is a high school. The JSA is in the high school, so I'm sure that Arian, he could speak to you, and then maybe get back to his high school club with some comments.
So Gary, actually, what I had in mind, I'm sure in high school they are African Americans that Black Lives Matter is very dear to them.
Oh yeah,
and
sure.
They can bring those students to this panel, and they can have a nice debate and educational activities.
Good, that's a good idea.
And John perhaps can be
Yes,
as a mentor. But then the students will be doing all these debate and discussion, and John can just sit and listen to and see how things going.
That's a good idea, Alex. Are there any other questions before I let this group go? If you have a question, unmute yourself and ask the question. If not, I want to thank Arian for the presentation, and Ayush, Stephanie, what's the other gentleman's name that spoke?
Rohan.
And as we said, you should really talk to John, and he'll coordinate that with you to the high school. Okay?
Sounds wonderful. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. It was wonderful speaking with you today, and we hope you learned a little bit something about what the people in Franklin High School are talking about these days.
Yeah,
That's great.
because we talk about the 3-point plan that we have talked about it for a couple of months, and you'll be hearing more about that as time goes on. All right,
Yes, sir.
let's continue with the meeting. I'm expecting Sean. He was coming in, but I don't see him in yet. Are you in? Are you in, Sean? Okay, we'll hold off on the police report. Okay, I need a motion to okay the minutes of October 28th. So I'm gonna unmute all of you now so you can speak. And then I need someone to give me a.
I'll make a motion, Gary, to approve the minutes of last meeting.
I'll second it. I'll second it.
Thank you very much. That's October 28th. Okay. Now, I had contacted Anne Marie McCarthy, and I believe some of you had, because the terms of office for Nora, Alex, Willie, Tom DeGanti, who, by the way, he's ill tonight, so I couldn't make the meeting, John Tibbs and Edna. I had told Anne Marie that you all wanted to be renewed for another 3-year term. So hopefully, when the reorganization meeting comes, you'll all be renewed. In case you had received any kind of email from Anne Marie, please respond to her and tell her that you would like to be renewed. I already told her, but if she should send you an email separately, please respond and tell her that you want to be renewed.
Okay.
I now have to okay the meeting dates for 2021, and let me just tell you what they are, and then I need a resolution from someone to make a motion. January 20. You'll all get these times as time goes on. July 27th, February 24th, March 24th, April 28th. We do not have a meeting in May. June 23rd, July 28th, August 25th, September 22nd, October 27th, no meeting in November, and December 8th. So I need a motion from someone to accept these meeting dates, and hopefully by the middle of the year, we can once again meet in the town hall.
I accept.
I support.
Well, first of all, first you have to make a resolution and a motion to accept all of the dates that's been forwarded by your chairman for the dates meetings for 2021.
Oh, okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the meeting dates that Gary had mentioned, and he will be putting in writing to everybody.
To a resolution form.
Okay.
To a resolution form. Yes. I second it.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, I see that Sean is on now. I'm gonna make him a panelist so he can give us the police report. Sean, you're on. Okay, Sean, you're on. Can you hear me, Sean?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Hello,
Can you
everyone.
give us the police report, please?
Yes, absolutely. You hearing me clearly?
Yes.
Talk just a little
Yes,
louder.
I can hear you, Sean.
All right.
I can hear you.
All right. Yeah. So currently, right now, as far as the police department stands, we know the Like I spoke last time, the Community Relations Bureau has been up and running. We've been doing things despite the shutdowns and restrictions that are in place. So, we've been, we had another food distribution in the lot of First Baptist Church, and we were able to give away a lot of food the week of Thanksgiving, and that went over very well in the community. We are going to have 2 new additions to the Community Relations Bureau. Officer Elmeyer, who you guys are used to seeing at some of these meetings, is actually getting moved over to the Detective Bureau. So he's getting a bump up in rank to detective. And Officer Shores, who used to come and be part of the HRC meetings, has been promoted to sergeant. Last night they had the ceremony.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Mhm.
Yeah. So so as they move on, we're getting two new officers to replace them in their roles. So joining.
Oh, you're saying Sean, Schwartz will not be coming?
Oh, he's now a midnight patrol supervisor.
Oh.
We're gonna lose Schwartz.
Yes, we're gonna lose Schwartz in the meetings, but you're gonna gain 2 new guys who were born and bred Franklinites. They we have we have
Okay,
Officer.
Sean, I have to break them in too.
Hold up now. Hold up. Let me get the name. Go ahead.
We have
Go ahead,
Officer Malcolm Belvin. Officer Belvin is went to Franklin High. He's grown up in Franklin, and he's very known in the Franklin community. So he's going to be joining the Community Relations Bureau. And Officer Matt Russo, who's an officer also from Franklin, went to Franklin High School as well. These guys all were born and raised in Franklin Township, very familiar with the town and the residents and the community. So they're all going to be the new additions, joining Officer Ken Reed and Officer Juan Morales, who have been there since we moved there over to 935 Hamilton Street. So
is that Darren's son? Is that Darren's son?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
that's Darren Russo, your new served son. Okay.
Huh? Yes. Yes, it is.
Now, I was just saying.
Yes.
Officer Russo is Darren Russo, our new served son.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. And so now, in addition to that, we swore in new sergeants and lieutenants last night at the council meeting. So we have a whole fleet of new supervisors going in. They're very reflective of the town, very diverse group, including the first African American lieutenant that's a male since 1991. The last one he had as a lieutenant, as far as African American lieutenants, was I don't know if you guys are familiar with Eddie Coleman from back in the day. He was the last African American in Franklin Township, and now we have Officer Lieutenant Lloyd Fredericks. He's going to be a patrol lieutenant, and we have the first ever African American female lieutenant in Lieutenant Jolanda Lacewell, who's been in the the police department about 24 years. She came in with me. So she's the first ever African American female in the police department to serve in the rank of lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
Yes. And we have a very.
What's her name now?
Jolanda Lacewell.
Lacewell. Okay.
Yes. She used to be part of the MPT unit back in the day, working in Parkside and in Somerset Estates, as it was called back in the day. Yes, but we have and then also coming over to the Community Relations Bureau is going to be newly promoted Sergeant Rebecca Leah. So you guys have been meeting her very, very soon as she makes her transition to the Community Relations Bureau, and the work is going to continue. So we have a very good group. Rebecca Leah, L-E-A.
Okay.
Yes. So we have right now, as far as initiatives, we have a coat drive that's going on. Coats can be dropped off either at the Community Relations Bureau or at 710 Eastern Avenue. The dentist's office, she's accepting coats there, and she'll also give a $50 discount off any of her services if you donate a coat there, and she'll enter you in a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card. And through that effort, yeah, and then all of those donations are going to come over to the Community Relations Bureau for distribution on the week of Christmas. So anyone that needs a coat in the community, we're going to be having the coats there that they could come on a first come first serve basis. Coats for the needy. They'll be distributed at the Community Relations Bureau on the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of Christmas. That's going to be what we're doing. And there's also a toy drive. Toys can be donated at the Community Relations Bureau. There's a box there, and that's being sponsored by Noble. All right, that's the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, is working with the police department to accept toys, and those toys are going to be donated to the community as well. So it's a lot going on out of CRB, and it's going to be a lot more to tell as the meetings go on with you guys. We'll be reporting a lot more things.
Okay, Sean, you got anything else to report?
No, I mean, we're encouraging the community to support those efforts. If you have toys, coats, please donate them, and we'll get them out to the community as soon as possible.
Okay, Sean.
Yeah.
Now, I copy Steve Elmer, Dideo Schwartz, Kenneth Reed, and Juan Morales.
Yes.
Is there anyone that you want me to take off and add?
Yes, I will email you the subtracts and additions.
Okay.
In the morning. That way you can have the correct names and everything. And
let me know who I should take.
Absolutely.
Let me know who I should take off and add, because as I said, I have you. I got Phil Rizzo. I got Stephen Elmer, Dideo Schwartz, Kenneth Reed, and Juan Morales. So let me know who I should take off and put on. Okay.
All right. Schwartz and Elmeyer are going to come off, but I will send you all. I'll send you the email so you have it all in detail.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Sean, before you leave, Gary, if I may just mention about Martin Luther King.
Yes, please do, Alex.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Just hold on for a minute. Just hold off 1 minute, Alex.
Okay.
1 minute. Okay. Are there any other reports? Are there any other questions for Sean? If not, I thank you for the report. And Alex, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know that last 23 years, and this year will be our 24th, we have been holding Martin Luther King Foundation Breakfast, which is an amazing community breakfast on his birthday, which turns out to be January 18th for next year. But this year we plan to have a virtual event, and we have sent out a request, a flyer or email, if you wish, asking everybody to make a donation to help us so we can continue with the tradition of giving scholarship to graduating high school students at Franklin Township. So hopefully you will receive that email from us. If you had given your email in the past or participated and donated in the past, you will receive it. If you haven't received it, Gary, may I ask you to forward that email that I sent it out yesterday to all
I got mine today.
Fantastic.
I got mine today.
Fantastic. Just if you could please send it to everybody and let everybody know.
You want me to send it to the commission? You want me to send
please do. Yeah, please send it to commissioners and encourage them to share with friends.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll have some donation
before
the end of the year. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And you will hear more about it, and then you can hopefully join the virtual meeting as well.
Okay. One thing more, Alex, could you just report on the current situation with the COVID testing?
Right. So it has been an amazing program that we have offered with the collaboration of the township, the mayor, and assemblyman, and the urgent care, which pretty much we have been offering once a week on Sundays free COVID antibody and flu shot for the community. Last Sunday, we had 881 people who came to be tested. And so it's very, very convenient for the people. They come and, they get the results. They don't have to have insurance. If they have insurance, the insurance pay the money. If they don't, they still get the test. So I encourage everybody, again, to spread the word. I have sent the flyers to Gary. I'm sure you have, Gary, that flyer as well from me.
Right.
So if you could share that with the commissioners and let them share with others, we appreciate that. Believe me, if we can even identify just a few people that maybe they have the COVID without having the symptoms, and help save the spread of this killing virus, I think we've done a great job. So please share with others. And encourage your family members also tested. Don't believe that if you don't have symptoms, you may not have the virus. You may have been exposed.
Just to add to that, I talked to the rabbi this week, and in our community, the Renaissance, he's coming to do the testing for our people on the 18th. Now, also, I talked to him, and he is already on the list. When a vaccine gets okayed, he is on the list to receive a vaccine early. So once he receives that, he's going to contact the township and us so we can get on the list for the vaccine. Just wanted to tell you that, okay?
Thanks.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, I don't have anything else. Does anyone else have anything else to report? Okay, so you all have a good holiday. Our first meeting in January is January 27th, which will probably be on Zoom again, unfortunately, but that's the powers. So if there's no other questions, I wish you all a good holiday, and I will accept a motion to adjourn.
Well, actually, before we adjourn, I would like to report something.
Go ahead.
Franklin High School has begun its hybrid in-person instruction. So the instruction has been occurring for the last 2 weeks, and so far it's run relatively smoothly. There have been some occurrences of teacher infection and quarantine, but they have been carried out in due time and they've been done cleanly. There haven't been any major crises or lapses in judgment at the high school, and so far things have moved smoothly.
Good. Good to hear.
Speaking of that, the schools in Franklin Township, we also arranged for the urgent care to come to schools and do a random test.
Good.
So we have basically not only the public schools, but private schools as well. So on a specific day, a week, they go there and the people are randomly selected, both the students and staff selected and being tested. And so this is another way that this service has been provided to the community.
Very good. Is there anything else to report before I ask for?
Yes, Gary, I'd like to just check if are we reporting those 2 donations we got from IT Serve to the CRB and the school?
What information you're talking about?
What information?
COVID testing?
No. We facilitated a donation to the Community Relations Bureau and then the school district.
We can report on that because we were at the school. Go ahead, Venky. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we facilitated a donation from an organization called IT Serve Alliance, and we got them a $5,000 donation to the school district, which they accepted for the program where they were helping students who were left behind. I forget the name of the program that the school is using it for, but it was a $5,000 donation that the
Archie, the
Road to
Archie,
success. Road to success.
Road to Success,
yes.
exactly. Yeah, they're going to use it for that, and we got them that $5,000 donation.
What
Earlier,
is
we
that?
had done a similar thing with the Community Relations Bureau as well, and Sean is here, so we did these two donations over the last 2 months.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to Venki for bringing those donations to the township. Initially, the organization was going to make only one donation, so that went to the Community Relations Bureau, and
Right.
when they saw the activity level and how the community is committed to the Community Relations Bureau and the things that they were doing, they had excess funds, and they came back and they selected Franklin High School for another $5,000, and we really like to thank Venki for that.
Yes.
And Chairman, I just wanted to say a couple of words about the food bank. I think the question came up yesterday in the council meeting. One of the residents asked what the council is doing to support the food bank. So I kind of explained a couple of things that the council members have been doing. First of all, the food bank's demand services, the demand has gone sky high, right? So they have so far helped about 10,000 families since March, and it's really double the number of families that they are serving through this crisis. It takes only $100 for them to feed a family of 4 for a week. Every dollar that you donate goes a long way, almost 3 times, because they have enormous buying power. So a couple of our council members, including me, have been focusing on generating dollars for them through various fundraising events, because the 2 major fundraising events that they have every year could not be held this year because of COVID. So that's probably would have given them more than $100,000. So they lost that. But we have been able to bring in an equivalent amount. You may all know that we did a Bollywood virtual concert that raised more than 50 grand. And a couple of other fundraisers, that smaller ones that we did. Mayor brought in some money through a friend of his, about $10,000. So I think we have made good on a lot of those missing fundraisers that they were doing themselves. And on Monday the 14th, there's going to be another major donation to the food bank that I organized through a corporation in town. But I'm not announcing the name and the amount at this moment, because they're going to put out a news release on Monday. So I will let that news release come out, and then I will share that information to you. About a week ago, 10 days ago, one of our close friends of 30 years passed away. Not COVID, something else. On the sad occasion, the widow actually, and a friend and a widow called me and said they would like to direct donations from friends and family for the funeral instead of accepting flowers. What a gracious gesture towards helping the food bank in Franklin. So we, believe it or not, food bank received about $8,600 in about a week in lieu of flowers for the funeral. And I just wanted to share that heartwarming gesture towards Franklin. And I think, I wish that that sort of a attitude gets publicized and many people come up to donate to the food bank because we are helping our neighbors. We are fighting hunger in these difficult times. And I'd like to thank that family for coming up to, stepping up to help Franklin. Other than that, I want to wish each and every one of you a very happy holiday season, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa.
That's tomorrow night. Okay, thank you very much, Councilman. One last item which I forgot about is that last week the councilman, Commissioner Venke and myself attended the high school junior ROTC meeting, and it was most informative. I have to thank Tuithica for organizing that, and we were most impressed with the kind of individuals that we have at that ROTC, and they asked very good questions. So I just want to tell everyone that we represented you on the HRC, and I thank Tuithica for that invitation. If there's anything else to report, or I'll have a motion to adjourn.
I actually wanted to raise awareness on another important thing that's taken place in.
Could you talk a little louder? I can't hear you.
So for when Aryan mentioned that the school is going back completely, or actually in a hybrid situation, I also wanted to let you guys know that when the topic of food banks was raised, the Franklin High School and the school district has also made sure that no student goes home hungry, and has made sure that everybody receives a grab-and-go lunch and breakfast for the next day situation, so that it aids in giving everybody the nutrition and the food they need.
Okay, thank you, Rithika. Is there anything else to report? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
You got a motion?
Do I hear a motion?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Meeting has been adjourned at 8:15. Have a good holiday, everybody. Thank you very much.
Okay.